Alright, any more problems? Come on. Bus? Bus hogi todi. Garmi vich. Hanji.
You know how we were talking about having like a school, right? Like a local
Vidyalaya or
school.
something, yeah. Hanji.
I think there's a lot, there are quite a few here, but they're on a really small scale.
Yeah.
And they're not really united, right? So I think that comes back to maybe like separation group, like these are a little combination of different things, right?
Yeah.
But there's a few that are doing solid stuff on such a small scale because they're donation based, right? And if they been, like the one example is Professor Uday Singh, if anybody's heard of him. Like he had it like down to a science the way he taught Bani, right? But if he taught it in Nishkam as well, like if anybody gave anything he did, like he took it or whatever. If he had done it in a way, or anybody had done it in a way where they had institutionalized it and actually built something, and that would like, it would continue on, right?
Yeah.
And I think that comes back to the separation of things. So it's like our problems are intertwined.
We're not picking. We could have like so example like the Panj Pyare said, right? We need to find the best system that's working out there right now and replicate it everywhere, right? So then what happens is that the people nominate the best systems that are working. Then they come up with like, okay, look, this is the best system. We've got this example here. You make a video, examples of best practice. You said, right now what we want to do is, we want this system replicated in every Gurdwara or every area. And then the Panj Pyare could actually say, right, bring us your ideas. And they could set up someone who's as a teacher to look at those ideas and come up with like the best solution. See what I mean? The point is, nothing you've thrown at me so far with the Panthic problems seems outside our reach to solve, does it? At least solve for the first 6 months or 1 year. Do the best we can. We're not to solve this problem for 100 years, but we can still do what we can, can't we? And imagine like some of the things we talked about today. How many of you guys are like, can we have it now please? How many want this thing right now? Yeah? So we're all looking for this leadership, innit? Asi pyase hai ki mera Guru Khalsa aave. We're thirsty for the Guru Khalsa to step up and start doing what it's meant to do and organize our Panth. That's the conversation I have with you guys, I have it in England. It's the same thing. Everywhere over the world, people are wanting the Panth to be able to do this stuff. Yeah? And we all know it's in our hands. Now here's the question. How come we're not doing it then? You answer me. Why are we not doing it?
Since we're not meeting in person with problems, so we don't know if other people are thinking the same thing we are.
Okay. But Bhai Sahib said, you're here, he said, because we're not meeting and talking about our problems, so we don't know that other people are thinking the same way that we are. You agree with that? Hanji.
I think money is an issue as well, right? If you want to do something full time, like if you want to get into it initially, it's going to be really hard for some people. Right?
Okay. Money is not an issue. Let me tell you now, the Panth has got more than enough money. Most people aren't even giving the 10% because they're not interested in helping anything because they don't see the point of it. Look, basics, yeah, started with just like me saying, I'm not working anymore. If you want to support me, it's up to you. Yeah? People gave money. Now we 3 people. Now we got 5 people. And now we're like, yo, let's invest in Canada. Let's get basic input out in Canada. Let's get US. Like the Sangat just keeps throwing money at things that they like. I tell you now, if we haven't even asked for money for the last 6 months, yeah, because like we're trying to hire people, yeah, and the thing is I just feel that the money is not an issue. There's a Sakhi. This is a bit comes down to faith as well. There's a Sakhi. If you go to near Ponta Sahib, there's a Sakhi. The Singh went to Maharaj. Say, Maharaj, paise nahi hage. Run out of money. Yeah. Because Singhs, people think it was all free back then. Maharaj used to give money to the Singhs as well that were fighting in the battlefields. You know that. If you read the Shabad where Maharaj talks about ki jabe ban lagyo, tabe rosh jagyo. If you get the end of that Shabad, Maharaj says, I got loads of money, and then I gave it out to all the Singhs and they did Jakari. So people got cash as well. They were both very happy, but they quit again. Now, what the Singh said, Maharaj, you got no money. Maharaj said, go to this place. There's a Gurdwara called Gurdwara Tal Sahib. He said, go to that place, find a place there, dig down. You're going to find a lot of gold. Fill this tal with that gold and come back. It's a shield, yeah. So fill up this shield with don't take any more than this what's in the shield that fits the shield, and bring it back and bury it down again. Yeah? The story you also know, when that guy came to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, some people say it's a kasvatti he brought, or he bought a jewel, and Maharaj just threw it in Paonta Sahib. They threw it behind. And he went to the river to go and grab it back, and the river was full of these jewels. Yeah? Guru Maharaj is Beyant, Maharaj is, he's got anything we need, he has got it. We don't need to worry about money. We start doing his system, we start following his system, Beyant Kirpa will flow. Yeah? Like Panji is saying, don't charge anything. That's the kind of system. We don't charge for our prachar. We don't charge anybody. Deo na deo thodi marji. Yeah? And you know what? We get more that way. So we have to start. Any other things like, for example, charging for Bani in Gurdwara. There's many other issues we have, right? Gurdwara, Khand Pars, no one's there. Yeah? There's many issues that Panj Pyare can come and start making up a system that says this shouldn't work. Imagine going to a Gurdwara and saying, Hanji, Khand Part karna hai, $1,000. But they're like, you got a doctor, you got the Khand Part, you got to choose one, because it's so expensive. You can have a lot of sharda to get the Khand Part doctor. Forget the doctor. This is the problem with we should not be charging for Bani, but then we got people coming to Gurdwara to do a Khand Part and they're not listening to it. Maybe you make a rule, right? You come to Gurdwara for Khand Part, give me a roster of your family that's going to be there for the Khand Part. Right? And you don't have to have 5 separate ones. Do one. Get everybody together. You got 5 families, right? One person from each family is going to have to be there at all time. That's their roster. We put a sevadar there to put the Sikhi to the max translation so people can watch it, follow what's going along, and then start the Khand Part for all of them at the same time. Samajh ho? Hanji.
I'd like to take initiative. Like, we'll talk about this now, but are we going to get involved in it after? Are we all going to work together to get this started and see the Khand Part?
So, here's Panj asking, how do we get it done now? She's like, let's have it, She's got the money, and if you ask that question, Okay, here's Hanji, go on.
Well, I just to kind of piggyback on that too. Money may be a big concern of, you were saying about hiring counselors and building this and doing that. When you reach the right people who really want to make it happen, A, the money's always there, like you said, and 2, you'd be surprised how many people want to do it for seva. I know that when we lived in California, the closest Gurdwara to us was over an hour away, and I'm still willing to teach my classes for free if there's a Gurdwara that's nearby that
Banji said, like, in terms of, we always worry about this, people want to do a lot of seva. Jews are sitting around the Panth with loads of cash in their pockets. They want to do something with it. They're like, if anybody came over and did something good, I'll give them all that money. We had a guy who's not even a Sikh donate loads of money to us. He just loved our videos and stuff. He's like, I'm giving you money. He's a Quaker, just giving us money. So it's funny. It's a funny old world out there. You don't know, if you do the right thing, you don't know who might support you. Now I'm going to give you 2 more examples. I'll address Panji's question first, and I'll come and give you like 2 more things that I was thinking the Panj should also do. How do we get it done? The first thing is, we have to do more things like this, what we just did now. You have to get people to buy into the idea. You guys all buy into the idea now, innit? You're like, let's do it. Right? We need more of this all over Canada. You got to do it in Toronto, in the main Gurdwara, you got to do it here, there, everywhere. Yeah? You get a mass movement of about 7% of the population saying we need to get this done, you can actually get something started. If you look at the history of movements, you need about 7% of the population actually wanting to do it. So 7% of the Canadian people need to be up for it to get it started. Okay? I would say try to get as many Amritaris involved in the first place, because if the caste is not buying it, we're going to have a real problem. Do you get it? So, but you can do it. We did this now. We could do a couple more of these, and then you could call one for like maybe the Canadian Sikhs to say, look, we're going to have a little bit of a Sarbat Khalsa here for the Toronto Sikhs. So you can say like, Gurinder Singh's happy to do it in Calgary. They've got that Gurdwara there. It's their own Gurdwara. They can do whatever they like. They're in the big sports hall. He said, just bring everybody to Calgary. We'll do it there. Do you get it? Now obviously, I don't know many of you want to fly to Calgary, but there's still. The thing is it's closer to Vancouver, isn't it? They can all come over. The point being is, isn't this important? If it's important, then we'll do it. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But you do need people to convene it. Like, for example, in the UK, I've put myself in that position that I'll convene it in the UK. Like, I'll push for it, I'll go around talking about it, I'll try and call it. But then I said, I'm not going to be in it. Yeah, firstly, I don't fit the criteria that you guys just said. And secondly, the other thing is that if I'm pushing for it, it's a conflict of interest. You know what I mean? So if I say I'm out of it, So I can be like separate, I can just be like convener, you know, kind of like the guy, state secretary kind of thing, yeah? So in the same way, you kind of need people here to do the same thing. You need people around here to say, you know what, we'll go around talking about this idea, convene something as simple as this in different places, and then we'll sell the idea, and then we'll call it Sarbat Khalsa. And you need people who can actually like manage large crowds and all that kind of stuff, you know? So there are obviously people out here, people that are respected. But the thing is this is not our idea, like this is not my idea. The Guru's done this. There's people that are going around talking about this all the time. I've heard this again and again from many other Gursikhs. We need Sarbat Khalsa, we need Panj Pyare. Again and again. What are we waiting for? That's what I always wonder. What exactly is? Do we want Nile Kodewar to come down on a horse and say, Karuna fi Sarbat Khalsa? Is that what we want Maharaj to come down and point to and say, you do it? Then we'll do it? Why do we feel so disenfranchised from actually doing something for our Panth? We feel like we need Agya from like Guru Gobind Singh Ji direct to do something which is right. रोज ऐसी पढ़ते हैं कि दे शिवा बर मोह है शुभ कर्मन ते कबहू ना डरो. Guru is telling you, don't ever stop doing anything which is good. And before we start something good, we need to have Guru's permission. He's giving the permission, He's made you part of His Pyare Khalsa. Don't you think that He blessed you and gave you Amrit? That was the permission you needed to be part of His body. He's given you Amrit. No one took Amrit here. If you Amritari, you never took it. It was given to you as a gift. So it was the Agya was given when He gave you that gift. Ki yo my put, jaake karo. Yeah, we don't need to be feel so disenfranchised from doing something for Sikhi. We are His children. Pyo ne put nahi kehna ki tusi karo fir, innit? Zimmewari kedi hondi hai. Singh, I said to you guys the other day, Singh said to me, you know this gatra around our neck? It's not a gatra. Yeah? This is the zimmewari of the Panth hanging around our neck. It's a kunji of the house of the Guru. It's the key of the house. We've got the responsibility in the Panth on our shoulders. Yeah? So we need to start doing this stuff. We can't just sit around talking about it all the time. Another idea I floated before, I'll give you this idea, right? Because you know, like I've said, this Gurdwara governance thing, yeah? One problem we have which didn't come up is we've got very bad PR. We don't know what PR is. I said to you guys yesterday that we need to. These guys, they've made us out to be fools all over the TV, radio, everything. We don't know how to do our own PR. Why don't we have our own PR firm? Everything that's good done by the Sikhs needs to be known in the media. It's not like Vava. It said this is the way the world is played nowadays. If you don't get on press unless you make those links, unless you create the content which is straight away, which they can plug and play. If you want to read something, if you're interested in the media world, I'll give you a book to read. I'll give you a name book. It's called Flat Earth News. Flat Earth News, yeah? Read that book. It'll wake your mind up as to how far back we are in terms of the media. So we should really have our own media, you know, PR companies doing giving our view version. PR is not just PR. PR is just getting us into the press. Giving our version. Every time they say 500 people died, we need to have a Sikh press saying no, 3,000 people died based upon this research. So that would again take money, and they would need Agya of the Panj Pyare to say this is our Panthik, this is our PR firm, support this. Yeah. So you almost have like a stamp. You know, in the old days, the Queen, any company that did food work for the Queen, they had like this stamp. So the suppliers to the Queen. Yeah. We need that stamp, the Panj Pyare approved. Yeah, organization. The best organization get a little stamp, and then they actually get then people are like, okay, I can invest with this organization because Panj Pyare look oversee it. And that organization must report into Panj Pyare. Yeah? One other idea I had for you guys is just a bit, and again, pushing you a little bit in terms of your thinking. What we need is a Khalsa army, innit? We need like a private. Have you heard of a private military company? Hands up if you know what a private military company is. Like 4 or 5 people, yeah? Executive outcomes, places like this. What they do is they go to countries who are like, they're mercenaries basically for hire. You hire them if you got a problem in your country. The government hires them. Say we got these people that are rebels. Yeah, like Liberia. They hired this executive outcomes to go and basically fight against the rebels of Charles Taylor and those guys. They're very efficient. They're all like ex-soldiers. These guys have like training companies. They have like training grounds. They go and train and all sorts of things, and they go and do their missions all over the world. We could do the same thing. We could build a private military company owned by the Sikhs. We could say to Flana people, like, you want to join this army, the Khalsa army, Khalsa forces, you can join. And we could go on missions that we believe are righteous. They might not be in India, because there's going to be sovereignty problems. If you start invading the Indian government, right, with your own army, then suddenly you become an international criminal. But if, let's say Nigeria invited the Khalsa forces to come and rescue those girls from Boko Haram. Now it's legitimate. The government's invited you, sovereign governments invited this organization. Okay, they're mercenaries, but they are legal. They go in, they do the work, and they come back. So we could start picking Tarmi missions, approach the government, and offer our services. Say that's what all these companies, isn't it? These Red Cross etc. They approach the government and say, look, you got people dying over here. Why don't you let us in to come and do some aid? So they get the approval, right? But this time we don't just do aid work with food. We can do that as well. But we can do aid work in terms of actually fighting bad guys. A lot of government take you up. They don't want to get their own soldiers killed. Who cares, isn't it? For them, but we start doing our Guru's job. Janjaweed in Somalia and those places, you can go and slot them. Yeah. Suddenly, what are Sikhs known for? What's the headline say on the papers? Sikhs saved 300 women from Boko Haram. Yeah. And you start wondering, Sikhs? Who are these guys? Who are the Sikhs? They start Googling us, find out who are these Sikhs? They just sort of saved like these girls from Boko Haram. They're like reading about Sikhi. They don't know who we are, do they? But then we start doing something, they start, who are these guys? They start researching us. Who are these guys? And they start saying to us, oh, what do you believe in? Oh, you believe, you're quite cool, you guys, huh? You know what I get when I go on the streets to Sheet Patar? They go, you know what, I'm an atheist, but I'd follow Sikhi. Seems really cool. Average person will say to you this. Average person will say, you know what, even if I don't believe religion, you guys are the good guys. We had this girl in London, a year ago we started Sheet Prachar. In June last year we started it. Yes, literally just 1 year of Sheet Prachar. She goes, so I said to her, look, can I tell you something about Sikhism? She goes, I'm not that into religion. I was like, I'll just give you a bit of awareness. She goes, I know you guys are the good guys, right? That's all I need to know. I said, okay, yeah, we are the good guys, but can I just tell you a little bit more? So I went through the leaflet, I told her, she goes, see, I told you were the good guys. You know, people don't even know who we are. But if they start to know who we are and they put us, then we started making a name for ourselves and doing the good stuff. Maybe the next mission we go to is to Moldova, and we start repatriating women that are being smuggled out of Moldova to become sex slaves. We start repatriating them from Canada and England, rescuing them and sending them back. Or maybe start building up like schools or education places in Moldova, so these girls don't have to leave over there and come over here. There's so many projects the Khalsa should be doing, innit? Isn't that our Guru's job, innit? Guru's told us, ki tusi ek kaam karo. Go be the Nimania ke man, Netanya ke tan, Neotia ki ut. Do you understand what that means? The strength of those that have no strength. The honor of those that have no honor. The shelter of those that have no shelter. That is our Guru. Where is the Guru now? Guru Khalsa is a Guru. The Khalsa should be doing, if you didn't realize this is your job, then you may have a wake up call. This is what we're meant to be doing. We're meant to be the shelter of those that have no shelter. Yeah, the honor of those that have no honor. But what are we doing nowadays? Nothing. It's not even on our Gurdwara. Oh, sorry to say, but when you get the problems, no one gave those problems. But that's our problem. Whose else's problem is it? Isn't it our problem? Who thinks it's not our problem? Who thinks Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj was saying, no, nothing to do with me? No one's got their hand up. So our agenda is very limited. We have a very limited worldview. We just think about ourselves. We become self-centered. The thing is, Guru Maharaj was never self-centered. They were always outside focused. They do more work outside. And the thing is that the Panth will grow this way. Just a natural, it's like, if you plant seeds, you get trees. If you start doing this stuff, you will get more Khalsa. The more Khalsa that die doing this stuff, the more Khalsa you will have. If 4 Khalsa become Shaheed, fighting the Janjaweed in Somalia, you get more people taking Amrit. Because you know what, out there, not now there in the foods, but out there, let's say in Toronto right now, out there in like the cities where the Sikhs are, most of the Sikhs think Sikhs aren't doing nothing. They don't bother. They're not interested. Kende hai gyo, bade san sapai hai gyo, kuch kita to hai nahi. And that's what they say. You guys say you're this stuff, but you ain't done it. But when they start seeing things and cause doing this stuff, they're going like, yo, let me sign up. Where do I sign up for this? I floated the idea for this PMC regarding the Boko Haram kidnapping. I put in the video, Boko Haram Sikh response. Gore Kale saying, I'll join up. Set it up, I'll join up, they said. I said, I haven't got time right now. I'm running basics, taking over the Gurdwara. But if we set this up, people would join this, and they wouldn't just be Sikhs that join. Many people would join. There's Gurdwaras Singh in America. He's ex-Marine, and he goes, I'll work with you on this project. So there's people are waiting for the Khalsa to start doing this. And the Panj Pyare give it Agya, the Panj Pyare give it the Thappi, we can do this stuff as well. And you know what? It's going to inspire all of us. It's not about things getting shaheed. Aapa sare marna ya. Who cares, innit? When you start off with death, what do you care about life? All the Amritari start off with death. So therefore we shouldn't be worried about death in the first place. Just do what is right. There's many, many things that we can do, and we should have these things on our agenda. Even if we can't do them now, we should be thinking about them. Otherwise, what's going to happen? It won't be on our agenda ever. Okay, I'll just wrap it up now. Okay, so Chardi Kala. Anything anybody want to add last couple of points or not? What should we do next? Hanji? Okay, spread the message, talk about it. Get the Sangat on your side. Get 7% of the people listening and agreeing with this, nodding their head, yeah, we do need this. Then call the Sarbat Khalsa. You guys here can do it. But today I get to see, all of you guys agree that you agree, you call it. To see you get five more people to agree with you. You grow this room next year, when you call the Sarbat Khalsa next year, you've got this where you've got 50, 70 people here or something. Yeah, 60, 70. You grow this to making it 400, 500, right? You can get started. It's up to you, innit? Apan hati apna, ape hi kaaj savari. It's up to you what you do. Yeah. Obviously, we're going to carry on doing this thing from the UK. We'll try and do it in the UK. But it'd be really good if you guys are doing it in Canada as well. You already got youth pardans. We haven't got hardly any. You're ahead. You could be leading the Panth instead of like you could do this first. So you find people that believe in it. Find people that can actually do these talks. Make a couple of you go around, give seminars, and then start and set a deadline. Say, right, we're going to call it in, I don't know, what's it now, we're in June. Say, right, we're going to call it in October. So we're going to do 2 or 3 talks in different cities, we're going to call it. What's going to happen to you next? After you call it, what's going to happen? Can I do this bit? This last bit of political realization. You know what's going to happen? You're going to have an argument with people all over the country. All the organizations that are already in place are all going to say, why do you need another organization? They don't understand. There's not one organization in Canada, is it, that's supported by the Panj Pyare and the Sarbat Khalsa? Is there one? Everybody came together and voted for it? There's not one in the UK either. But you know what? When I floated this idea, everybody said to me, oh, why do we need one more organization? I said, no, we need not just one, we need something above all the organizations. Yeah? What we're having now, there's a tussle going on. I'm going to give you a bit of realism so you understand that this is not some easy peasy task. A bit of realism. The Akal Takht issued a letter recently in the UK for the UK Sangat. They said the Sikh Council, so organization that is not made up of Panj Pyare, does not have the Sangat buy-in in that sense. Sangat hasn't voted for these people. They are from committee members. Committee members make up the Sikh Council. Loads of them get together. They've given the Sikh Council the Agya, Akal Takht gave the Agya, to represent all Sikh interests in the UK. They didn't ask the Sikhs in the UK. They just gave them that they are the main people that run Sikhs in the UK. How did that happen? They said, we're very surprised and happy that we got given this power by the Akal Takht. Surprised and happy. They're happy, I agree, but they're not surprised. They went there and got it. They sent their people there to tell them that we should give us the letter. There's a fight going on at the moment for the ability to call the Sarbat Khalsa and to get the Sangat on your side. The Pakistan recently, the Pakistan SGPC, wherever it is, they called the Sarbat Khalsa to decide an issue of Nanak Shahi calendar. They called it in Nankana Sahib. You know what happened? SGPC issued a hukamnama saying that only we have the right to call the Sarbat Khalsa. You haven't got the right. Somebody else, you know why they called it in Nankana Sahib? Because all the Khalistanis are in Pakistan. The Khalistanis are the real hardcore ones, they were in Pakistan. They can't come to India. So they said, call it in Nankana Sahib. You guys can come to Nankana Sahib, we can't go to Punjab. Yeah? And the SCP said, no, you can't do it. Only we have the right. Who gave them the right? Sarbat Khalsa has been around since 1700s. SCPC got created in 925. How did they get the right for something that was not even around? They weren't even around at that time. So basically, if you start doing that here, you start challenging India. The Indian government controls SGPC and controls Akal Takht, yeah? Now you're directly challenging them. What you're doing, if you do this thing now, you're taking part in a real revolution. Everything is in our hand. These are the stuff that we can do. We can't deal with the stuff in India at the moment. We can deal with this stuff here. We can be an example. My view is that do the things that you can do, and don't worry about the things that you can't do. Whatever is happening that you can't worry, that you can't solve, is hukum. Just do your Shabazar in the morning and say, Ji Jan Sab Saran Tamari, Sarvachit Tud Pase. Jo Tud Pave, Soi Changa. Don't worry about the things that you can't solve. Worry about the things that you can solve and work on those. These are things that we can solve. All the Khalisai Nari is not going to help you right now. This stuff is what we need right now. Community organization. And you know what? If we got organized, this Panth would flourish. It would flourish. There's so many people coming into Sikhi. And then that'll be a real challenge for the Indian government. And because they just spend their propaganda. We'll have our own propaganda machine. We'll have our own everything setting up and say, look, you are not right. I'll give you a finish off with this, yeah? You know Khalsa Mass. What's Khalsa Mass? What is one in Khalsa Mass? Khalsa has got its own maths. What's one? Sawa lakh. Sawa lakh is one, isn't it? 125,000 equals one in the Khalsa Mass, yeah? The UK population is 660 million. Divide 60 million by the Khalsa maths of 125,000. You know what you get? About 500. You need 500 Khalsa to rule over England. That's what Maharaj is saying, yeah? Sawa lakh se so rule over England, you need 500 Khalsa. Khalsa Raj in the UK. Do you know how many MPs there are in the UK? About 500. Surprising, isn't it? You got 500 MPs who are all Khalsa, and you rule England. You got Khalsa Raj. How did that happen? Maharaj is telling you everything. He's told you everything you need to know in it. A majority of 300 will rule that country. You got 200 spare for Prachar. What I'm trying to say is, this is not unachievable, the Khalsa Raj. You just you do Jakaria, you don't say Raj Kare Khalsa. The plan has to be there, innit? How are we going to Raj? Raj kive karna hai? Not by force. Because akki rahe na koi. Maharaj said Raj Kare Khalsa, akki rahe na koi. No one's going to be opposed to us. We talked yesterday, the 5 colleagues of the Khalsa, Panj Pyare names. If we start doing Daya and Taram, and we have Himmat and Mokham to deliver Dekh Dekh Fateh and Panth Ki Jeet, then we will get Raj. We will become Sahib. If we start doing the things I talked about with the Khalsa PMC, the feeding the homeless in this area, doing drug, and then the drug connect, the drug and depression stuff, you don't just make it for Sikhs, you invite other people to come and use your services, right? Start serving your community. Then everybody's like, who are these people? These are great. These guys are great. How do I become a Sikh? Best Raj Kare Khalsa. Gore politicians taking Amrit, Kale politicians taking, everybody's taking Amrit, that's it. They want to be part of the Khalsa. And you got Khalsa Raj. You're thinking I'm weird, isn't it? Anyway, Maharaj Kirpa Kare, this is exactly the way it will happen. Yeah? We'll take over like the Sada Hukam. Maharaj's Hukam is this, ki Raj karo. In Garib Sikhon ko diyo Padshahi. Maharaj has given us Padshahi. It's our job to do it now. Sab kuch likhya hoya, sab kuch dikhaya hoya. Our problem is we're too scared to follow our Guru's Hukam. Yeah? We're scared of doing it. जिथे खासा निर्भव ते निर्वैर होंदा सीगा आजकल खासा भव नाल डरे भरिया होया है and it's full of vair as well. It's supposed to be fearless and no enemies. Now we're scared of everybody, full of enemies. So Maharaj Kirpa Kare, we go back to his Nirmal Panth. Maharaj just told us, feed and protect everybody, give them freedom, fight against those people that will stop you doing that, win over them, don't just give up. And then Raj Karo, rule the world for the best of everybody. For Sarbat Khalsa, rule the world. Beinti for you guys, think of yourself, think of the Khalsa as your Guru, as your ruler, and then the world will think of the Khalsa as their ruler. So man jange, japa man jaiye pehla. Make the Guru Khalsa Pargat here. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ